wanted to provide some information about somewhere that I study, and this is the PolyVagal Institute. I'm adapting and reading this from the information on their webpage, which is www.polyvagalinstitute.org. That's PolyVagalInstitute.org/. This organization is for addiction experts, trauma specialists, and clinicians in all mental health fields. Jan Winhall, MSW, FOT, is the PolyVagal Institute course partner and the developer of the Felt Sense polyvagal model. You may be curious about fresh ways of understanding trauma and addiction. There is, in fact, a better way to understand trauma and addiction. A way that honors the wisdom of the body while integrating the latest findings in neuroscience. A way that creates a new social movement of liberation, away from being shamed and pathologized just for responding in ways that have not been appropriately understood. A way where we can respectfully understand addiction and treat trauma responses with deep, embodied listening. Come explore with the community of PVI community of learners. You can earn a certificate and go further to train as a future facilitator. Jan Winhall, MSW, FOT, is an author, educator, and seasoned trauma and addiction psychotherapist. She is an educational partner and course developer with the PolyVagal Institute, where she teaches courses and trainings based on her book, Treating Trauma and Addiction with the Felt Sense Polyvagal Model, Routledge 2021. And Jan is an adjunct lecturer at the University of Toronto and a certifying coordinator for the International Focusing Institute. Jan is co-director of the Borden Street Clinic, where she supervises graduate students. Jan teaches and lectures internationally on her Felt Sense polyvagal model. This is a quote from Gabor Mate, MD. Jan Winhall brings together the essence of groundbreaking modern therapeutic practices with her own decades of hard-won clinical experience to fashion a new, deeply humane and promising model of addiction treatment. Learn more about the courses and your educational journey. These are self-paced. One of the courses is Revolutionizing Trauma and Addiction with the Felt Sense Polyvagal Model. In this self-paced 6-hour course, they explore the intersection of trauma and addiction and how to address both with an embodied approach. Trauma and addiction responses are increasing day by day, and we desperately need a fresh approach that treats the trauma of addiction where it lives, in the body. The fields of trauma and addiction have developed separately, yet when we treat one, we are very often working with the other. And the state of addiction is traumatic in and of itself. So how do we work with both? In this course, we explore the intersection of trauma and addiction and how to address both in an embodied approach. There are 5.5 CEs available, and this course is optional in the sequence of courses that lead to becoming a full FSPM facilitator. If you do take this course first, you'll be eligible for a discount on Step 2, the Treating Trauma and Addiction with the Felt Sense PolyVagal Model Certificate course. 2 is the live online Felt Sense PolyVagal Model, a certificate in treating trauma and addiction. River Malone offers that she is very grateful that they had the opportunity to learn and grow with Jan and others who they have connected with while learning, helping them grow as a clinician and inspiring to understand my own addiction as an adaptive strategy to regulate unbearable emotional pain. In this 6-month certificate program, we explore the intersection of trauma and addiction and how to address both with an embodied approach. Participants of this course will gain focusing partnerships and become part of a growing supportive community of like-minded therapists who understand the importance of a polyvagal lens in working with clients. In addition to play-on-demand lectures, there'll be 6 live monthly Zoom classes as well as monthly focusing with your assigned partner. Upon successful completion, participants will receive a Partner Focusing Proficiency Award from the International Focusing Institute, a certificate of completion in treating trauma and addiction with the Felt Sense PolyVagal Model Certificate Program from the PolyVagal Institute, and 24 continuing education hours are available. Then there's 3. Live online embodied assessment and treatment tool EATT practice lab. This group is a think tank practice lab, and it has helped to formulate and shape her ideas and practices. Jan Winhall says it is one of her favorite places to be. This 6-month course offers a deeper dive into the concepts of Felt Sense PolyVagal Model, paying great attention to our felt sensing and connecting with our autonomic nervous system. Do a check-in and provide an opportunity to share in the joys and the struggles and the explorations of this important work that we do. In the second hour, a volunteer presents a case using the Embodied Assessment and Treatment Tool, EATT. We will expand our capacity to think at the edge and to bring our rich experiencing into sessions. As we co-create this safe and adventurous space, we keep learning how to intelligently present with our clients. Focusing partnerships are encouraged and meet weekly and bi-weekly. Forming the basis of our embodied interactions and our community is a place of connection, support, and enrichment. This course is especially for those who are interested in becoming a Felt Sense PolyVagal Model facilitator, deepening your knowledge and skills and applying the model to your area of practice, and co-regulating with like-minded and embodied folks in an ongoing, safe, and stimulating professional community. Participants must be graduates of Jan's Treating Trauma and Addiction Certificate course and be pre-approved by Jan Winhall. Learning and working with Jan's Felt Sense PolyVagal Model has shifted and added depth to my work that has benefited me and my clients significantly over the years. This is a quote from a master's in social work student who took the course. And number 4 is the live online polyvagal informed focusing teacher training. Participants in this course learn how to teach polyvagal informed focusing based on Jan Winhall's Felt Sense PolyVagal Model, and specific tools and strategies will be shared so that you'll feel confident in teaching focusing and the basics of the Felt Sense PolyVagal Model. By reflecting on learning principles, group process, and program development, participants will be prepared to integrate FSPM into an environment or modality, and upon completion of all requirements, participants will receive Focusing Trainer certification from the International Focusing Institute and the Felt Sense PolyVagal Model Facilitator certificate from the PolyVagal Institute. So the path to becoming certified as a facilitator are the self-paced course, 2, the hybrid course, the Felt Sense PolyVagal Model, the live online, and then the second live online training. Why should I study at PVI? PolyVagal Institute, co-founded by Stephen Porges and Deb Dana, is the home of polyvagal theory. When you study with our experts, you can be confident that you are learning the most current research from the best in the field of study. PVI is proud to offer our high-touch, personalized learning experience. Our class sizes allow for more connection with your instructor and your fellow learners. Ask questions, engage in discussion, and make the most of your time together. Outside of your course sessions and focusing meetings, learners can continue to inquire and converse with the private digital space on the PolyVagal Institute community app. You'll be simultaneously immersed in a broader supportive polyvagal community of informed individuals, professionals, and fellow learners. Upon completion of the full FSPM sequence, learners will be awarded the FeltSense Polyvagal Model Facilitator Certificate from PolyVagal Institute. PolyVagal Institute affirms that certificate training results in a polyvagal-informed level of knowledge and application, and your certificate not only showcases your personal and professional accomplishment, it distinguishes you from your peers and shows your clients, your colleagues, and employer your continued dedication to improving environments, experiences, and outcomes.